Hey toy fans, Aaron here. Well, welcome to 2019, and with that I guess it's time to do the traditional top 10 list from the previous year. So today, I'm going to take a look back at my top 10 of the 6-inch Black Series line. We saw some good stuff in this last year. One of the big improvements to the line was the use of the photo printing, the face realistic painting technology. Certainly gave the figures a much better look, and so let's just get this thing going with number 10. I've got the Rebel Fleet Trooper, and overall this is a pretty solid release for a figure. While the majority of it is rather basic, you know, it's just a blue shirt, gray pants, black vest. There's a very good sculpt going on with it. All the fabric lays nicely within the sculpting of the sleeves for that shirt. Nice draping and stuff. Of course, the head sculpt is great, along with the paint operations to give it that lifelike look. I like that he comes with the Death Star plans. The helmet is removable. But the biggest feature to this figure is the addition of the little butterfly joints on the shoulders. While the vest does limit some of that, it's nice to know it's there. It's nice to see them have that on the figure. And like I mentioned in my review of this, I hope that's something that they incorporate in other figures to come. At number 9, I've got the Range Trooper from the Solo movie. You know, for the most part, this really is just another basic looking figure, but something about it keeps me coming back to wanting this in my top 10. I like the soft, good fur collar that he's got going on. Little bits of weathering painted in on the helmet and along the chest. And the sculpting of that fur coat just looks great. I guess it's just the overall presence of it. I do wish he came with an accurate blaster, but maybe that's something they just didn't know about going into the production of this figure. At number 8, I got Skiff Guard Lando. Overall, just a beautiful figure head to toe. There's a fantastic likeness to Billy D. Williams, and even with the helmet on, you get a great look at the eyes looking out through that mask. The hammered detailing of the costuming is done very nicely, and I like the weathering that they gave him along that little front cloth piece underneath the belt. And even the painting that they did for his helmet is looking great also. At number 7, I've got Moloch, once again from the Solo movie. And overall, I think Hasbro did a fantastic job with this one. Got a little bits of weathering around his cowl. You got some white brine splattered on the cloak of the figure, along with some mud detailing on the bottom of his robes. And I like the way the headpiece works, that you can take this helmet apart, the bottom slides out, the eyepiece comes out, and then it reveals a pretty nice looking sculpt underneath that. And even for the tight features of the head being inside that cowl, there's still some articulation in there so you're able to move that head around. At number 6, I've got the Bespin Han Solo, specifically from the Exogorth set. This is certainly the best likeness of Han Solo that we've received in any scale figure so far, coming from Hasbro, that is. This set specifically gives us the additional breathing mask with the filter on the end. You get the pointy finger to go along with this figure also. Overall, the rest of the figure has a nice sculpt to it, and specifically, I really like the wash that they gave for his holster and his belt. At number 5, I've got Grand Moff Tarkin, and you know, maybe he's a little high on the list, but still, it's just a fantastic looking figure. The sculpting, the painting is just spot on and really captures the likeness of Tarkin. While the rest of the figure is pretty much your basic Imperial officer uniform, and you know, not all that much that we haven't already received in the line, it's just too hard to ignore how much they captured Tarkin's likeness, and there's no way I would be able to leave him off this list. The figure also came with the interrogation droid, which was a great addition. Sculpting and painting looked great on that. The only wish I had here is that that stand was taller. I wish it sat above the head of the figures instead of being down at the waist. Coming in at number 4 is Zuckus. Kind of the same lines as Tarkin. You know, not much going on for the body, but that head sculpt and the painting that it received is just so fantastic looking. That dark brown is really settled into the creases, really highlighting the features of the bug head. The silver eyes, the silver mouthpiece have a great paint job to it. And the robe, I think the printing that they did for that fabric is looking great. I think Hasbro has always done a good job with their aliens, and this one certainly is no exception. At number 3, I've got Forlom. Once again, nice head sculpt going on. I love the painting and the detailing that they gave to the eyes. It's got that little green translucent plastic, so you do get a nice little glow with that. And I think the painting that they did with the rest of the body really just helped nail the look of the figure. The washing of rust that they gave him settled in nicely along the creases of the sculpt. And I like the elbow articulation that they gave him, still giving him the pistons, but having that slide within the forearm to help give you that added movement that we did not get with C-3PO. Coming in at number 2 is Hoth Leia. I know I haven't done a review on this figure yet, but I think this is probably the perfect Leia figure that we've received in the line so far. Certainly it's been helped by the photoreal paint technology, but I think everything about the head sculpt just looks fantastic, as does the rest of the uniform that she's wearing. This is not much different than the Bespin Leia, but this time around she does get the vest. And of course the hair is a little bit different between the two figures. And then you get some added accessories for the welding goggles and the welder that she has in her hand, and of course she comes with a blaster. So at this slot, I think you could really put in either Bespin Leia or Hoth Leia, but for me, I chose this Hoth Leia, like I said, because it just feels like a more complete figure with the addition of the accessories and that vest. And coming in my top slot, number 1 for the year of 2018 is the Gomorian Guard. This was the Target exclusive figure, and this was everything I wanted it to be. I mean, it probably didn't take much for them since they did a great vintage collection release in the 3 3/4 inch scale, so all they needed to do was make that one bigger. That's what I hoped they would do if the figure had ever come around, and that's certainly what they gave us. He's got a great paint job through the eyes. The armor around his shoulders and the little bit on the helmet looks fantastic. The brown painting for the rest of his top part is looking great as well, with some great weathering in there. All of that really settling within the creases of the sculpt. And he's got a nice looking fur wrap running around his bottom part. And otherwise just a very nice sculpt going on for the rest of the body. Lots of muscles showing, little muscle detailing and stuff. Comes with 3 accessories, each of those painted very nicely. More so the axe pieces than the staff. There's not a lot of painting to that one. And I like that he's got the articulated jaw, so you can have them closed, you can have it opened up. And that's a wrap on this top 10 list of the 6-inch Black Series figures for 2018. I'd love to know what some of your favorite figures are from this last year. You can let me know in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.